Fabulous intro.
You just tagged me in something and it came up over the top of that. Fucking Jason. Anyway, Where's Your Head At was our intro song by Basement Jacks and Young Pup. We've given you the name Young Pup. Where's your head at and where's it been?
At the moment, his mouth's in a bowl of brownie.
Nice brownie for breakfast.
So where's your head at, son? Let's go. Everyone.
First This is Saturday Night Live.
Onetribe
I thought this was a intervention.
Another
we were doing a podcast.
Another Friday morning session.
I like this space. I like the lighting. We all looked good in the lighting last time. Even well, you got a modelling contract out of it, for fuck's sake, after the last one.
It's been a big week.
Welcome back, boys. Ty Kubiak, Jason Grimar, and myself. What's doing, boys? What's good?
Not a lot.
Big week.
You need to start speaking to the microphone, or
you can hear me. All right, big week. I mean, I think we missed last week, didn't we? So I feel like we're a bit. I feel like we're a bit rusty.
Why are we missing?
We are rusty.
Why are we missing each week?
Well, I got my folks in town. My parents are here, so it's been as we all know, I feel like everyone's parents are in town at the moment. I think most people I've spoken to, their parents have either just left or they're on the way or they're here now before the summer hits and Ramadan hits.
Well, that's a go. I mean, my parents, they do love me, guys. My parents haven't been in 5 years, so anyway.
We'll be funding them over at the end of the year for you.
Yeah, it's getting, we got an early Ramadan this year, so I think people are quickly realising that and making some pretty quick plans.
That's right.
Well, let's talk about the fucking heat last week, man. That was proper summer.
It's back. It's this week, the last couple of days has toned down a bit.
Yeah.
We got a sub 30 weekend coming up, but then I think it's just fucking with us. And
I mean, we hit 40s last week.
Yeah, straight to it.
Yeah, it literally went from winter to summer.
Yeah, if you're listening from overseas, exactly that.
No, from winter to everywhere else in the world, summer.
Hell.
Yes.
It's
not our summer.
Not our summer yet.
Yeah. 36. We had a 36 or 40 degree. And I mean, if anyone's going to tell you the temperature, it's me because I spend so much time outside walking the dogs.
Yeah.
So like in the mornings, I went, literally we did the podcast about you guys roasting me about how many layers I was wearing. 6 layers. I had a shirt, puffer jacket, hoodie, beanie.
Yep.
No joke. Within the week, I was down to a singlet riding my bike, just sweating.
And that was only because you're out in public, so otherwise you wouldn't have had a shirt on.
Otherwise I wouldn't have had a shirt on. But yeah.
So instead of wasting all your time putting 6 layers on now in the mornings, you're wasting your time by setting up your phone.
Yeah, let's talk about this. I went straight to Ty this morning. I went, this fucking guy's lost his mind. So you went out this morning. You get to work on the cusp of starting, right, every morning because of the dogs, right? Yes. But now you're taking the piss. You've gone and set up your camera, did a lap with the dogs again, a second lap with your bike. You had to get your bike out, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a bit of a production. It was a production. You know, I thought it'd be good for people to see, from a first-person perspective, what was actually happening in the morning.
Because heaps of people give a flying fuck about what you're doing in the morning.
I guarantee you, the first round, he's probably got back and gone, fuck, I didn't press record, I got to do it again.
To be fair, the dogs were getting more frustrated with me. They're like, mate, we've gone down the same street 3 times. Can we just keep going, please?
We just want to walk, bro.
How many times did they walk over that camera when you tried to split the camera and...
Lead hit it. I tried to go past it. It slid down. It was about a good 10-minute production for a 14-second reel. I hope you enjoyed. Check out my stories.
I enjoy your content, pup. Oh my God. Okay,
how's your week been, bro? Talk to us. And what are we preparing for tomorrow?
Oh yes, we have the Tough Mudder. I don't know. We have. I mean, it's about as prepared as this podcast, to be honest. So we've got Tough Mudder tomorrow. Myself and Jace are running our cruise through the 5-kilometre race up in Ras Al Khaimah. So that'll be a bit of fun. So that'll be a bit of content.
I'll see you in Rack. We'll be in Fujairah. Are you doing the one in Rack?
I thought it was I've been telling him Amul Kawain.
There's a Tough Mudder in Fujairah tomorrow, 5K.
Me, I'll be sitting back, not running 5Ks in the fucking heat. I can tell you that right now.
It'll be a bit of fun. But I mean, we've been training our clients probably in preparation for it over the last month or so. It should be a bit of fun.
No, it'd be good. It'd be good. There's a lot of stuff on that sort of scares me. That whole underwater pass where you got to stick your mouth open, all that shit.
What would be the one thing that would scare you the most? Like, when you're putting your body in a physical position like that, what would be the most challenging thing that you probably have trouble?
It'll be the running.
For all of you. Okay, so running. So I'd love to see that actually.
No,
but the problem is, here's the thing, is that me and him, are taking 2 crews out that we train, we actually have to pretend we're act like we're fit tomorrow. That's my biggest fear out of this.
We have to lead by example.
The amount of bullshit I don't do on this gym on a weekly basis, and now I've got to front up and act like, no, Mr. PT, I'm the trainer, I should be fit. Imagine that.
I know.
I keel over and fucking die, and all my clients are like,
For me,
pressure.
Honestly, if there's I'm shocking with anything that's heights, speed, moving side to side, any of that stuff, no problem. If I'm driving or whatever, I mean, if I'm driving, no problem. But as soon as I'm up high and I need to get that feeling where you lose your stomach and drop.
Yeah, I'm shit. What have they got on that?
There'll be a slide. I mean, there may be a slide. I've done one before.
I think there's a 50-foot free fall jump straight into water.
At the Desert Warrior, there was one, and I didn't like it. Honestly, there was a slide. Yeah. I chose not to do it. I went around it. I did electively choose to do the one that was a little bit less, still quite high, probably the height of this, where you just run and jump.
Straight into water.
So I'm okay with running and jumping, but going down a slide, I can't deal with it.
I don't think about this too, did you?
This is the last part. There'll be wheelchairs here next week rather than the fucking seats.
So we'll find out. And then there's the electric, the run through the electric wires.
What happens if you can't or don't want to do one?
So you can, from what I've heard
Sit in the corner in a fetal position and you cry for 5 minutes.
What do they do?
Typically, they try to enforce the 30 burpee punishment, which most people can't even do 10. So
30 burpees is a bit much,
it's a lot.
isn't it?
So typically, you would just walk around. Yeah. Like I've said to my crew, if you feel like it's life or death and you cannot do this station, just walk around, move on.
You know what you both should have done? You should have said, look, this isn't about us. This is about you guys. So you guys actually have to carry us the whole course.
No, well, that's a speech I'll be making tomorrow.
I'm not allowed. My feet are not allowed to touch the ground.
I don't know how that would work through the ice bath. That would be interesting.
Work it out.
Anyway, so that's our tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. We're running that, so that'll be a bit of fun and a bit of content coming out of this weekend. But otherwise, the last couple of weeks has been fun. There's been a few dramatics in and out of the gym, and that was all a bit of fun. So anyway, I don't know.
So tell us about the
cops. I'll tell you about the cops. They turned up here.
Anyway, people don't want to hear about that. Okay, that's a Netflix miniseries.
Yeah, it's coming soon.
We're doing the screenwriting and the casting for that.
Let's just drop that. Let's just drop the whole subject now, because fucking hell.
So
snippets of this podcast will end up in court,
mate. Moving up in the big world.
I wouldn't call it that.
Milan, Paris, New York, London.
Honestly, it was a bit of an eye-opening week for me. I know I'm going to get roasted for this, but let me try and justify myself first. I got a DM earlier in the week from a lovely lady who I'd not previously met, who works for a talent for the old DM, a talent agency here, and said that I might be a good fit to come and have a bit of a trial out and see how we go for some lifestyle content.
You said talent agency, right?
Yeah.
What talent?
I mean, to be fair, I was kind of a bit I was like, what are you looking for? Modeling and whatnot. I'm not very photogenic. I'm not very good at. I'm definitely not. I don't feel like I'm photogenic. I don't feel like I've got a face for the camera.
Yeah.
Like I like to.
I don't have a face, but I have the naked
torso. I'm not photogenic, but I knock out
for the camera.
4 posts a day of being fucking shit.
Yeah, but not like look. We have to give respect to the people that do the modeling gig. Having the certain expressions, certain positions, looking candid in front of a camera, I feel like it's quite tough. Like I'm a bit more natural in the moment kind of person. Like if you capture me on the spot, I'll probably look a lot better than I would be if I was trying to pose a certain way or something like this. So anyway, filled up the application form, went in for some trial photos and got put onto the application, onto part of their crew. So now basically we'll see what happens. But that's the reason for the recent updates, which is why I'm getting toasted today of me having some more modelling.
No, you know
photos.
what? Like fair play. Yeah, not photogenic at all. Fucking bullshit. Fair play. Like I said, we spoke about this. We knew when it happened, and mate, opportunity. Like why not?
Yeah, I think like
you're young.
I'm trying to keep the good vibes going.
Absolutely.
Dubai is a city of opportunity. I still feel.
Grab it.
You put out the vibes and you see what happens. Not afraid to put yourself on the line or out of a comfort zone. you don't know what can happen. I think, and it's also one of those places where you just might meet someone new, or we might just one thing come of it that'll lead to something else. And you're a walking billboard for that, aren't you? For where you're at now with ballers coming through. Right?
Yeah.
Like
true,
just,
yeah.
Conversation.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
Opportunity after opportunity. And now you're kind of in a position where something pretty extraordinary is about to happen. So
Dubai is that city. I always say that you cannot sit on your ass waiting for opportunity. Go and make it happen. And that's what, we're doing as a trio. We're making things happen, and we're not waiting on anyone. So
people don't know this, but I did a lot of modelling when I was a kid. I'd get my pocket money and go down the toy shop and get like model airplanes and...
What, a head look like a nutsack? We need a head that looks like a nutsack to put in this ad for bonds.
How nice is that?
For bonds.
Wow.
The modelling planes definitely were quite good, weren't they?
Still modelling, mate.
Yeah,
We'll
count it. We'll count it, mate. We'll count it.
No, but good. I think it's a sick opportunity. It'll definitely get a lot more traction if you choose to not forget about the podcast when you make it famous. And
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, he's already been designated his security team and agent.
Yep.
Which is funny, but I think you guys would suit those roles almost perfectly.
I'll be the Ari Gold.
Yeah, the Ari Gold for sure. No, I reckon he's 100%.
Turtle, more like it.
I'm the Johnny Drama. I don't make the Vincent Chase cut. I'm more Johnny Drama.
You're Vinny Chase.
I wouldn't go that far.
If you don't know what we're talking about, you
Watch
are
Entourage.
on another planet. If you've never watched Entourage, best show ever.
Easily one of the best series
ever. Nice boy. So that's a great opportunity that you've got coming up, which is good. So we'll stay tuned. Wait to
see where it goes.
Exactly. Let's see where it goes. I bet you were fucking spewing when I found that little highlight reel that photographer put up.
So photographer Carl did a great job helping me be comfortable and composed, going through something quite new to me. But he obviously wanted me to get a bit of a pump on, which we all know. When we did the shirts off, I was actually more comfortable with my shirt off, surprisingly. No, not over surprising for you guys. But
I wouldn't have.
I've done more fitness shots. I mean, we've been there. You've done those fitness shoots before, shirts off. You know when to
No, wait. Speak for yourself, son.
Okay.
Stop saying we've been there.
I've been there before. We've done a fitness shoot.
I'm on my way there.
Okay. Well, tell us more about that in a sec.
That's part of my...
Is that one of your
50
resolutions?
goals was to do a photo shoot the week of my 50th birthday.
Which is when?
Another 2 years.
Oh, fuck, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sitting in a room full of fucking absolute... they aim high up here in this room.
You watch.
Stay tuned for 2 years' time now, guys. We'll present you that footage.
Yep.
But you're going to look great, mate. You've dropped how much in the last... Because actually, on a side note, Ty's put himself through a little bit of a body transformation over the last 12 weeks.
Yep, no. 8 weeks. I did drop 10 kilos, which was the plan. So now another year of getting stronger, putting on more muscle, and we repeat the same process as we did last year.
I give you a lot of shit because you're a mate, and that's just because I love you. But how old are you now?
40. I'll be 48 in May.
48. You tell me one 48-year-old that moves like this fella and is consistent and like you...
Says me for the last week, walking around
back pains, popping pills. Yeah. No, but true. Like I look at 48-year-olds back home in Australia or anywhere, they look fucking 68, mate. Like it's just shit. So, mate, big credit to what you do and how consistent you make it. Yep. It'd be very funny trying to speak to the younger versions of us and doing what we're doing now in life.
Yeah.
Like back in the day. It's very funny, and I guess where we're from, tall poppy syndrome exists a lot, right? So when you're doing well, people don't want to give you just dues, right, or just deserves or whatever. But
speaking of just dessert, mate here.
But
gobbling his
wouldn't
brownie.
that be funny sitting back at, I don't know, when we were 16 and going, you boys are going to be like, I'd say successful PTs, running small businesses, fucking whatever, doing this.
In Dubai.
If you had told me at 16 what I would go through to now, be like, fucking you kidding, are you?
Oh, mate, it's a journey.
Yourself.
It's a journey, and that's why I don't want to ever forget it and trying to document it. Like, you called me out. Not called me out. You said, like, when we started this thing, you're like, oh, bro, there's like 200 videos on your YouTube already that no one watches. That was never for that. The YouTube channel was never for that. It was for one day memory lane. Do you know what I mean? Like no one watches that shit, but well, my shit anyway, but because it wasn't interesting. But it was like, oh, look, let's see how far I've come in my 15 years here.
I don't think you were also, from what I saw, it didn't look like you were trying to get the world to see it. It actually did look like a log of you just wanting to document your journey.
It was, nowhere else to put it. You know what I mean?
Really, you just put it on your page and for your crew and you. But it was, it's definitely. I mean, if you've got time, Nuck has documented the last 10 years easily. Right?
Documents the last 10 minutes he's done.
So on that note then of like how far we've come, if you were to look back now and go, I want to if you could change your profession, if you could say right now you wanted to be successful in another industry, let's say successful at it, would you change what you did? Would you pick something different, or would you like to try something new?
Yes.
What would it be?
I wouldn't fucking be PT.
What would you be?
No way.
Be anything.
Like anything?
Anything.
That I could be successful
Your dream
at?
job, yeah.
I'd be some sort of muso or something like that. 100%.
A world-famous artist.
Yeah, like a drummer.
Okay.
Like of a band. A band.
Yeah.
1,000,000%.
Okay.
I'd be in a band.
Yeah.
Fucking rockstar.
For me...
Yeah, it doesn't get better than that.
For me, something similar, because I have a musical background too when I was younger.
Playing the triangles doesn't count.
Yeah.
The skin flute.
The skin flute.
Or...
It's credit to my mate back in Oz. Used to give me shit for that when I came from band practice. Ads, well done, mate. You've made it on the Onetribe.
Either that or some sort of visual artist, like a photographer or...
Yeah, he's got some good photography, actually.
So, that's something I've gained a lot of interest in the last couple of years. So
yeah.
I am even it's me. I didn't nearly put my elbow in your brownie then. So I've contemplated, sort of diving into that a bit more, but it's a big cost involved there.
Yeah.
When you start,
it's a very competitive industry as well.
Yeah, I don't think I would. I think I would just do it just for me. Wouldn't try to do it as a profession because, one of those things. For me, it's you go all in.
Yeah.
Just for now, as a bit of a hobby. Yeah, not an issue. Yeah.
I mean,
but looking back over the stuff that I've done since I was 16.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change. I wouldn't want to change. It's been pretty diverse for me.
Had a good experience.
Yeah.
What about you, Pup?
I mean, I would say, look, obviously pro footballer has always been the dream, and that would I love. Instead, I try and make friends with him here in the gym with Mr. Barr downstairs. I just chat to him.
You mean football as in soccer? Right?
Soccer, yes. Which I'd love to obviously have done. But I mean, if you look from away from on the top level, what could actually be somewhat attainable? I would have loved to go through the Air Force and learn how to be a pilot. I just think I watch those videos and I just think. Imagine just being in a cockpit up so high.
And by videos, you mean Top Gun, right?
Yeah, Tom Cruise. No, honestly, I think so much respect for anyone in any sort of service industry, military, Navy, Air Force, but Air Force in particular, I think would just be. And I know the checklist to get into something like that is very tricky. You'd have to pass certain medical credentials, intelligence checks, etc., etc. You're flying so much. You're controlling a shitload of money. You are in your hands. Those planes, the amount that they're worth. But that would be the dream for me, I think.
Yeah. It's one of those things you've got to make that decision early on in your life.
Yeah.
And pretty much, even coming out of high school, even that, how well you do in that will be dependent on whether you continue the next part.
Because do you guys remember when Oz had you could do a military service electively from your first year out of high school? So basically there was a program
not cadets.
Not cadets. You could go into this. You could go into a reserve year where you were full time in the army. You would actually get paid. It was
Army
an
reserve.
army gap year.
Army reserve.
But you weren't reserves. You were on campus 100%. You'd get sent off somewhere around Oz. You weren't at home going to reserves twice a week. You were actually based. And then I think 2 years after I'd finished, they actually stopped it. But I was signed up for that. I was put myself down as a vehicle like a driver.
So it was to gain a trade through the...
It was to gain a trade through the army, and you would do a year, you would learn one of the applications.
They wouldn't be putting you through infantry training, though. It was...
You could pick you could pick different criteria, but I mean, from there, they would allow you to have a stepping stone into other areas of the Defence Force.
When I did my trade, that was one of the options going into... the reserves to do my trade through, because it was government, right? So like it was fucking huge. But the intake, man, very small. Very small.
Yeah.
Like they advertise it as if like we're hiring everybody, but no.
The criteria is pretty strict.
Yeah. That would have been a good job though. Like you're based in like city, suburb, whatever. You might get like a year out wherever, out in the fucking sticks, but otherwise to get your trade through there, definitely. That's the other thing too. I think like what we're seeing these days is that whole era of like leaving school and getting your trade and stuff, it's slowly dying. Like that's such good money, man. My 4 years of an apprenticeship, like my fourth year, I come out and I was earning $1,700 a week. Like, and all my dickhead mates at uni were like scraping for change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I asked them, what the fuck did you do with your uni degree? Like, you're managing... Like, they're all got decent jobs that pay well, but they didn't need their uni degree to get there.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a massive...
I studied arts commerce at uni.
You did?
No.
No,
okay,
can't
you mean spell arts commerce. Fucking...
I mean, this is always a massive debate that I'll have with mates and whatnot, and like, you know, some people will be all for going through the university process, and you're coming out with your degrees and qualifications, and obviously that's helping you set up for some competitive roles out in the industry. You always get picked first when you're coming up with higher credentials. But then I also think sometimes for certain people, actually not going down that road seems to work out better. Like, you know, some people just can't apply themselves. Putting themselves in that environment is actually limiting time. They have that life experience where they're maybe actually going through a bit of a personal change to click and be in a position to find their feet. Do you know what I mean? I think for some people, you go out of high school into uni, if you're not ready or you can't handle that pathway or that type of learning, sometimes you are better going off into a trade, having more hands-on experience.
Oh, absolutely.
Doing something you're more passionate about. And some can always come back.
Yeah, and some people do the opposite of that. They go through trade and jobs and all that sort of stuff, and they get to their late 30s and 40s, and they think, I go back to uni and I'm going to go back to a tertiary education and study and get themselves a degree or qualifications like that. So, but do you remember when you're in high school and TE score to get you into university, things like that?
It's like an OP score we had.
So like 990 was the highest. I knew a kid that got 990. 3-4 years later, what are you doing? Oh, I'm a postman. Dude, you're like,
gives a fuck.
What's going on there?
Yeah.
You know, so not everybody.
So, moral of the story, kids, if kids are listening, don't waste your time at school. Just become an influencer.
And parents will now turn off the Onetribe.
Influencer, NFTs and Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole nother world, though, now. This whole influencer thing, coming straight off onto the gram. You got earning cash off the gram. This leads us into probably OnlyFans perfectly.
Yes!
Like these,
good segue, my friend.
These platforms that you can honestly set up in your backyard or your bedroom or wherever you choose that are bringing in cash and exposure in some senses globally. It's nuts.
And
it's
the
insane.
money these people are making. Let's touch on that, because why I had on the podcast notes first highlighted OnlyFans. I read an article this morning. Obviously, we all know what's going on in Europe at the moment. Russia, Ukraine, pretty heavy shit. Don't really want to get into the politics of it, but nonetheless, obviously, Russia have done a blackout on Instagram, Facebook, all the major social sites, and a lot of the Russians who are in that age demographic make some stupid money, as we see, because we get a lot of their content on this side of the world on platforms like Instagram, etc., and then OnlyFans is another one, and it's all been cut out, and these kids have lost pretty much their livelihood because that's all they knew from an age of 25 or whenever they're old enough. But that money is gone. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But that goes to show you that generational change and gap, like you've just said, that's off. So within a button push, shit, I'm screwed now.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I've got no other skills to fall back on.
Yeah.
To get me through.
But you could also say that about sort of our generation, Ty, is that like, okay, tradie background, and then as we get on each year that goes, there's robots doing these jobs, man. Like we've seen at Expo, like humans were replaced by fucking robots rolling around.
Yeah, but over your time, you've gone from tradie to another profession to another. So you've got that background of being able to go, shit, okay, I can pivot.
Yeah.
And I've got it in me to be able to do something else.
Yes.
Even if I had to go and work retail or do something, or I had to anything.
I think that's a mindset. Like for us now, if this went tits up and the whole gym game went sideways, mate, I'd go and work at Spinneys.
Yeah.
It's money. Money's money for me now. Like,
I mean, at the end of the day, if you had to survive, you would get yourself out of the shit. And you wouldn't. The thing is, you wouldn't be content with that. You'd be like, okay, I'm here, my bills are paid.
Yeah.
While I'm here, guess what? I'm working on something else.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about, opening up other avenues to get out of this and do something I want to do.
Like OnlyFans.
My old school manager at Fitness First, Wayne Simeon, absolute legend. He used to always say to me...
Legend.
He used to, I've just got that brownie still going down. Absolute legend. Kiwi fella off back in NZ now. He was in Dubai. Wayne actually helped me move here. He was head of all the Fitness First clubs. Anyway, he'd always say to me, and all the other trainers, but I think I was probably only one of the few at the time who actually really focused on it. It's like you need to have multiple lead or income buckets, he would always say. Like multiple streams of revenue. Whatever it is, you need to have multiple, because at any one time, if one was to close down, you are left on the back foot. And I think if someone shut my Instagram tomorrow, I think I'd have no connection with the social world almost, because I don't have any
documenting. If someone shut your shit down, it'd be worth documenting the crisis you would have. It would be amazing.
I would almost not exist anymore. I think I couldn't come to work. No one would know me anymore. You know,
puts his hand. What's the point? What's the point?
I'm done. That's it.
But you're training us. You're making us say, well, it's no point. No one can see it anymore.
I'm not on IG, so
I'm putting all my shirts back on.
But let's just stick on that topic for this whole OnlyFans. I keep going back to it, but I want to talk about the money that it's making these people, because OnlyFans, you know, it wasn't started for what it's used for now. If you know OnlyFans, or
what's it used for now? For those who don't know,
it's known
if you're under a rock.
Yeah, it's known for content that can't be shared on Instagram, right, or Facebook, and a lot of people are using it for X-rated content, right? So, you know, a lot of girls and stuff put up pictures of their bikinis and stuff anyway on Instagram, but they're starting to realise that the DMs and stuff they're getting, they can actually make some cash off it. You know what I mean? So let's put up sort of a picture of me with my breasts out, and I'll charge $5 a hit for it. And $5 times fucking 300 people, it's a bit of cash there. You know what I mean? So I get the whole thing, but the platform was never started for that. It was a subscription service so people could use it for, only fans of the fans of Onetribe. There's content we can't speak about. Say I wanted to go and deep dive on the war and the politics. This would be demonetized straight away on any of the platforms out. So we're going to put it to our OnlyFans where you can subscribe and we can talk about it openly.
So how do they get away with being able to do that?
Because
because you actually subscribe to it?
Correct. And it's not
open platform.
It's an open platform. It's not a service like YouTube where it's there. Like, I mean, I don't know if you guys know, but do you know who the Nelk Boys are? Right. So the Nelk Boys are this group of kids. And they're not kids. They're probably a little bit younger than us, who have made